All right, it is 7 o'clock, and I will call to order the Jamaica Select Board meeting for Monday, February 14th. Is, as usual, as per agenda, I guess. Any late additions for the agenda? I do have a couple. There is a liquor license application that's been submitted. We'll add that on. Karen did send me an estimate for some Gravestone repairs, and I think that's it. Okay, so the first item on the agenda is to approve the minutes from our last meeting, the January 24th Select Board meeting.
I'll make a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Second, Kate. Any comments? All in favor of approving the Select Board meetings minutes from the 24th, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The minutes are approved. All right, so the rest of the items on here are all kind of more administrative type of things, so I'm going to insert the first one would be just to review, and I apologize for not sending this off to everybody. Karen had sent me an estimate as being the cemetery sexton for South Hill, an estimate from Charlie Merchant to do some repairs on, it's looking like maybe half dozen, 8, 10 different stones. Some of them are leaning over, some of them are broken, which he can repair, and some of them are broken, which he can't repair. So he's proposing laying some frames on the ground.
What do you mean, like
to frame it?
and
They would sit on, they would lay on the ground and be framed within a pressure treated frame. Total cost $600. I think it's fairly reasonable for the amount of stone. So I don't know, Karen, if you had anything more to add to that?
Well, there is money in the,
There's, right,
in an account for things like this.
Yeah, so there is money in the cemetery funds, and more than enough to pay for this. But I think this just still is one of those things that needs to be approved by the Select Board.
I'll make a motion.
Is Charlie doing them himself, or does he
Well,
get help?
Sometimes they'll hire Bob Litchfield or
Okay.
have him come. He usually will have somebody with him. We had him, was it last year or the year before? Year before, I guess. They did a bunch of work with the Boy Scouts in the
Right.
cemetery here.
No, he helped me with I bought some property down in Oakwood
Oh, nice.
Cemetery, and he's helped me with the cornerstone, saying that my sister, God bless her, she didn't need all 4 of them if my mom didn't care, so he helped me, mark out
Oh, good.
my future home.
Your spot.
I have property in Townsend now, if anybody cares.
I'll make a motion to allocate the $600 for cemetery repair.
Second.
Second by Kate. Any other comments?
Just that, I brought that up because Charlie helped me with all that.
He's great.
Yeah,
So
he
he's a
definitely
cemetery guru.
knows his stuff when it comes to this, yeah. So all in favor of authorizing the repair of the gravestone, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. There's that. The next item on the list was to approve overweight road permits. I'm guessing
There's
in
5 of them.
5 of them
sitting in
there.
front of me.
They're sitting there.
Does anyone want to look over them?
They
I
all,
can see them.
they're all paid, checks are there.
Yeah.
Checks are all here, looks like, they look all to be in order.
And they're all the normal suspects, so to speak.
Yeah,
I don't know who that is.
Yeah. okay.
Now Barrett, Valley Cranes, Aero Concrete,
Now I'm trying.
they all got insurance.
Yes, yeah,
They all list out the VIN numbers and all that.
They all $10.
Do you want me to do them all at once, or do you want me to do each one?
I think since there's nothing out of the ordinary, they can certainly be all done at once.
I will make a motion to approve the overweight permits for Carroll Concrete, El Nicky Aggregate Inc., New England Quality Service Inc., Manad Brothers Inc., Valley Crane Service Inc., and Barrett Trucking Company Inc.
Second.
And I want to look through these.
So there is a second. Any further discussion? All in favor of approving the overweight road permits? Say
Aye.
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 Any opposed? All in favor? Unanimous? Perfect. Next item is to approve liquor license for West River Provision, I believe. Same thing,
There's
also
a check here for $70 and everything looks to be in order.
They didn't have one before?
They had one.
They had their first
Been a
one.
year already?
Yep. Well, they
This
got
is
it
renewal.
in May.
well, after the purchase, so
Yeah.
that would have been part of it.
So do they pay directly, the other 70 directly to, oh, there it is.
There's a
One
check for
goes-
oh,
the
I see.
state there,
Yep.
and then there's the other check, I gave her, no, I gave her the receipt, but the other check is there.
One goes
It
to
did it
Jamaica
today.
and one goes to the
I see
state.
it.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the liquor license for West River Provisions.
I'll second.
All in favor? Say aye. Aye.
So we're gonna
Sounds
sign
great.
these?
Thank you, West River. Okay, next items are basically to review and approve the timesheets and the pay orders, which are, we customarily do at the end of the meeting just to put our signature on those. I kind of brought them up a little bit in the agenda just so that it would be a formal part of the agenda, that we have reviewed the pay order. Something else in there?
I found something in here, professional tax map maintenance services agreement, and this professional GIS services agreement.
Oh, so that actually is something that we had discussed and approved. I believe the expenditure of, Terry
we
put
already
those in there,
approved
just that they
So we
need
need to sign
they need
these.
signatures, and we missed them at our last meeting.
There was also a letter in here from the Montessori School, West River Montessori School.
That has gone into a bucket, so to speak, of requests for our ARPA funds.
Okay.
So the planning commission is assisting us in gathering those, and certainly all of us as select board members should be gathering up our list too. Our first nice little segue, I guess. Our first reporting, the first reporting of that reporting requirement is April 30th. And that's just to say what we've spent. So far, we haven't spent anything. We have 2 years, Terry knows dates off the top, but roughly 2 years to come up with what we're gonna spend it on, and then after that, another 3 years, I think, to spend it. So there's not a total urgency, but we need to start gathering our ideas. I think another thing that we should gather up is some ideas of where we're gonna, where and if, what we're gonna do with our 1%, if that gets approved. One option is obviously throw it into the general fund, but are there other projects that we could be looking at to say this is something we've always been wishing we could do, and that kind of thing. So, yeah, so I moved, and I apologize, I moved into somewhat of a comment period. But any other comments from the board? Anything that goes?
Just that, so the public knows, that when it says review and approve timesheets for town office, listers, highway, and transfer station, that we have those to look at sometime before the meeting. They're sent from our treasurer, so we can look at them as soon as we get them, instead of just whipping through
Yeah.
them here.
Yeah.
Just
and that-
so the public knows
Right,
that
and
we
that was
try to
exactly
look them over.
part of my
I do
reasoning.
as best I can.
Yeah. And that was-
Sometimes more so than others.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of detail in there. Terry sends us and shares with all the invoices, and that was part of the reason I moved them up into the meat of the agenda, so to speak, is so that the public knows that we're not just sitting there scribbling on the bottom of the paper to get it done in a quick fashion, that these are looked at in advance. There's, I don't know, 30 to 60, sometimes pushing a couple $100,000 on each bi-weekly pay order, so, all right, that was all. We'll segue into public comments. Any public comments? Karen, Paul?
I just have two. Erica Bowman and I are working on trees that were approved, the 4 trees, maple trees, to go down on Water Street. So that's still going ahead, and the horse chestnut. Second Ann Brower and I have decided to do Jamaica Old Home Day again. So, we're looking at September 17th, if that's okay with you guys. The last time we had put on Jamaica Old Home Day was in September, and it went over very well. So we were hoping to do that again. I would assume we would have a parade again. We would need a sheriff or two. Andy, who's the liaison? Tom? Andy?
I used to be from my.
I am.
So we'll be in touch with you at some point.
Might have a new one by then.
Okay, well,
Because I'm telling you, I'm not going to stand for 3 years,
okay.
just in case you need a new sheriff's liaison.
So
That
we'll
would be
see
one
what
thing I do
happens.
miss. But yes, if I'm still
Okay.
here.
Yeah, from the
certainly,
board, we can,
they're pretty good about sending someone up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
we
they
can
are.
go
They've
on.
always been very good. I would assume that we will need the front of the church, that little road section there closed off. Other than that, we haven't come up with any plans, but
It's exciting.
if it's okay with you guys, we'll go ahead.
Do you still have funding from the town gave you before?
We do. I don't know how much is in the account right now. Bob Johnson is the treasurer. And I
Okay,
reached out to him, but I was busy all day. I'm not sure if he got back to me on it.
because we didn't allocate.
There hasn't been anything new put in there
I'm pretty sure
because
that
it
we have
wasn't used
enough.
one year, what, basically.
enough
We
to-
didn't put any new
Right.
this
Yeah.
year last year.
Nobody asked, so.
Well, there was money from the previous year that we
Right.
did
And
allocate.
nobody
those
asked.
expenses, right?
Exactly.
If people don't ask for like those other things, what do we call those? When- like the gathering place.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They usually send us a letter or ask every year.
Well, we'll see how we feel after.
After this one to ask again.
But,
Yeah.
we'll probably be asking again for next year. But this year, I think we're fine.
Super, yeah. that's
So we'll be
okay.
asking you all to volunteer.
Back to normal. so-
Okay, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's all I have. Other than green up, Pat's doing green up?
I don't really know.
Okay,
But that's obvious, I mean, that's the first Saturday of May, and I haven't heard any conversation, but there wouldn't be a reason not to do it, I guess.
exactly. She
Yeah,
does a good job, so.
yeah.
Okay.
Sarah? Yeah.
The ballots for the school budget vote are in, so if you want to vote absentee, you can now, you can request them from me. So they're here in the office. That's all.
And when is
When is
that?
that?
the regular
March
meeting?
23rd, 2000, this year.
Yeah. Well, 2022, yeah.
Yes, that.
Oh,
And just as another reminder, for those maybe on TV there that hadn't seen the last meeting, we had voted to move our town meeting day to April 2nd, which was a Saturday. The state extended those guidelines and rules or things that we could do that again this year. So we'll be at 10 o'clock, April 2nd, at the town garage. It's a Saturday.
This needs to be signed?
No, that's another good point. That cannot be signed yet. It has to be between 30 and 45 days out, so we're discussing the warning. We drafted a warning prior to our last meeting, but then when we moved our date, we moved the time frame for when we approved that. So that'll be on our next agenda. The 28th, yeah.
so no town report till that gets straightened out.
Correct.
So as of the 28th, we need to have everything to
Yes.
Sarah.
Anything
And
that you want in
anything
the town
prior to
report,
that.
we need by February 28th.
Paul.
What was the date again for the vote for the school?
March 23rd.
It's a Wednesday, right?
I don't know.
Do we usually do that on Wednesdays or Tuesdays?
Yes, it would be. I believe it's supposed to.
Well, the 23rd is a Wednesday.
That is.
Wednesday?
The 23rd
Sometimes they do
is-
Wednesday votes, yeah, it's not
Do
like
they?
a Tuesday thing, that the school has done it on Wednesday.
Okay.
I believe.
All right, Sarah's gonna check on that date just to confirm.
Wednesday, March 23rd. We've got it in writing.
Okay, perfect.
I guess so,
All right, anything else to add? Any other comments or from the public via Zoom? All right.
I'll make a
Well,
motion to
hearing
adjourn.
none.
Yeah.
Tom, motion to adjourn.
Second.
The meeting is adjourned at 7:15.